Morning. Morning, beautiful souls. Namaste. Welcome to my Advent calendar. This is day 14, and blessings for the third Sunday of Advent to all of you. Good morning to Mary Beth and Dee and Jen. Thank you all for being here with me this morning. I got distracted. I am pouring molded candles and just putting some gifts together for friends and family. So yeah, having great fun in the kitchen this weekend. I'm going to do several things today, and I'm going to start with shuffling and choosing my feeling word, my emotion word. Morning, Angela. Making molded candles and having wax, beeswax melting in the kitchen is just such a lovely energy in the house. It's a very strong painting. And part in working with this deck is that I have spent a lot of time with the story of Frida Kahlo and these cards, and I'm doing my best to let these feelings that arise from the cards to be just a response to the card, not over complicate it. But there really is a sense here of power over. And I think that fits really importantly into something I want to talk about just after this. So I'm going to find a way to express that in as few words as possible. And I'm just going to write that down. I'm just going to write power over as my first feeling. And what I want to cultivate is, you know what I'm going to put as my opposite is co-creating, in that I might have to do a bit of journaling on this one. What I mean by this is that rather than controlling and having power over, you co-create, you empower. Let's do that, because that's power over, power versus empower. And remember that when you choose your words today, every day, that it's really important to sit with both and to fully feel and experience the energy. Hello, Donna. In both, like you sit with one, and if one is immensely discomfortable, you sit in that discomfort. Take an inhale breath and exhale breath. And then move your way, cultivating the opposite, and stay there. And this practice of going back and forth and back and forth is not an easy one. It's not an easy one. And when I am teaching yoga nidra And especially if I'm working with yoga teacher trainees, one of the things that we're really careful to bring into the awareness of new yoga teachers is that certain words and certain experiences are very triggering for people. And so the approach to all of this needs to begin gently. Okay? And I hope that you can appreciate the medicine of this practice. So yesterday I fumbled my way through using I'm not sure what DBT is, but there are a lot of these practices go by lots of different names in different kinds of therapy. And yeah, so that doesn't surprise me that this feels familiar. Okay, so I fumbled my way with an exercise through the literary tarot yesterday. And the point of the practice yesterday was to find support, maybe something that you weren't aware of, to help navigate the energy of the Ten of Wands, this particular decan that we are in. And the story that was on the card that I drew, not only was it unfamiliar, it didn't really fit with any Four of Wands energy that I presently work with. So it was a real fumble, and I apologize for that. And so I carried on to find my literary mentor for the Ten of Wands journey, and I was reflecting on Charlotte from E.B. White's Charlotte's Web and her selfless service. And I've done a bit of reading on the Ten of Wands this morning, just reflecting on, I'm just looking to see if there actually is a Charlotte's Web card. I think there is in this deck. And the thing that sort of came to mind, and I would like to do a reading around this. I'd like to do a reflection around this, because I think it's an important part of understanding the Ten of Wands, and that is when to back off, when to stop. Thanks, Jen. And good morning to Kiki Law. Thank you for being here. Yeah, so I'm going to put these down just so I can focus. There comes a time where we think that, well, we do help. We help and we support. And then there comes a point where we've done enough. And it's time to back off. It's time to step down. And the first time this connection to the Ten of Wands came to me was in terms of reflecting upon those days when I was on the executive of numerous community organizations. If I wasn't the president, I was the vice president, or I was the fundraising chair or something. I had my hands in everything. And finally, it took somebody saying something quite rude to me, quite direct. Maybe it wasn't rude, maybe it was just direct, that it was time to back off. And at first, I didn't respond very well to that. But in hindsight, I think this is such a big lesson of the Ten of Wands. And that if indeed our role in the Ten of Wands is supporting ourselves to get through to the end, or supporting another to get through to the end, to complete something, to see something through, how do we know when to stop? And how do we know where to stop? And I think all of you are doing such great work with your own self-study and self-reflection. This is a really important question to ask, because we don't ever want that 10 of you don't ever want that 10 of Wands to turn into oppression, because the darkest reflection of the 10 of Wands is similar to that card that I pulled this morning, and that's thriving in the power over. And that is, that's just not a healthy place to be, especially when we began Sagittarius season with this very idealistic, wonderful energy of the Knight of Wands. Here we are off on this great mission, we have this great purpose, ideal. And I'm not so sure if I will do a reading, but what I want to be very sensitive to here in my quiet time, my crafting today, is, are there any places in the many relationships that I nurture, in the many projects that I have going on, where it would be in my highest interest to stop or slow down, to not feel like I have to care for or micromanage other people's lives, that sort of thing. So I think these are really deep questions for the 10 of Wands. Yeah, Shadow Wands 10 equals control freak. So this is really important stuff. The Queen of Pentacles, remember, has picked up the Decan spot here. And I think the Queen of Pentacles, in her frustration, because nobody can do everything quite as well as she can, mode, can get into this as well too. Nobody quite gets it right in the kitchen. Nobody quite knows how to do this or do that as well as I can. So all of you, just get out of here and let me do it. You know what I'm talking about? All right. Unusual choice, but I've just grabbed, okay, this is a verb I want to delete from my vocabulary. It is so popular among the young teachers at school, and it is the verb to grab. They use it as a synonym for to take, to pick up, and I think it's just so strange. It's so highly inappropriate, because the last thing we want young children to be doing is to go and grab their rain jacket or go grab their library book to take back to the library. That's interesting. I have an oracle card stuck in here. There we go. Okay. Let's back up, shall we? Help us all to negotiate, find equanimity, through these busy weeks, through these many responsibilities. Help us to better understand how to support ourselves and others in a way that serves all in the highest. Always working to a higher frequency of healing and harmony, health and wellness, peace and love. Above all, love. Offer your heart. Just kind of lovely. You know what this feels like? It feels like a conversation with me when the moon is fullish and I'm out there. I yammer away to the moon. It doesn't have to be full, but that's what this feels like. It feels like an exchange with the goddess. King of Cups is here, and the Hierophant. And look how the King of Cups is gazing at the Page of Cups. And the Hierophant is there with their blessing, blessing all. Oh, it happens in German too, does it, Angela? Yeah. So these cards are meant to support us in knowing when to step back and knowing when to simply observe and share love. And I think the King of Cups sitting back and allowing that Page of Cups to, it's interesting. So maybe, you know what I'm thinking here? The Page of Cups is offering a toast. The Page of Cups is taking the lead where the King of Cups would have done so. The Hierophant is looking in another direction. And they're both kind of just allowing this young page to take the stage. And I think that is, that's beautiful. So where you can, let the youth, let the young ones lead. Let them get it wrong. And you can focus your energy in other directions. What can you do with a tarot deck besides read it? Well, I've chosen one of my, I'm starting to put they're not in a box yet, but I'm putting together a box of, and I feel like insubstantial is such a harsh word, but the ones that are not, I'm not reading with, and they don't have the layers of the tarot that I need at this time. They're going to go into a box because I just don't read with them. And I decided to choose one for this particular exercise. And this exercise is to choose a tarot card as a gift for those that you give gifts to. And I think this is such a lovely time of year to do this and this exercise. And I want to thank you. The playbook, the tarot playbook, one of you said, Sadhana, do you have it? And I said, no, I don't have it. And I ordered it. And there really are some lovely things in there. So this is a variation of something that comes out of the tarot playbook. And if you have a deck that you would be willing to release cards from and have an incomplete tarot deck, this would be a wonderful way to repurpose the deck. And so what I am thinking of doing is, I'm not quite sure how I'm going to do it, but I think I'm going to, I think I might just type it up in a really small font and glue it to the back. That's what I'm going to do. And so I did look through these earlier, and some of these I have been thinking about, and this is my youngest daughter, or the Three of Wands. She's 18. She has long blonde hair, so the Three of Wands is very fitting. And I just want to write something really heartfelt to her about having permission to go where Spirit guides her, to know that she has everything that she needs, that she is complete and she's fully able to stand on her own 2 feet. And I think this would be, I think either of those would be a lovely, lovely gift for her. And I have some really, I have sort of an estranged daughter. It's a very complicated story. And I was looking for a card that might help her to see the beauty of working together with family, to know that she was always welcome to come back. And this card came to mind. Because I feel like she's been away so long now that she might be a little, I don't know, afraid to come back. She's so stubborn in her independence. And I think this is kind of a sweet card to know that she always has a place in this family, and how much I've always appreciated her contributions to everything that we have ever done together. And I really like this idea. If I could get some, nicer paper that would print on my printer, and then attach that to the back of the card. For my son, know that your mindfulness and the organic way you have chosen to live your life is growing the most beautiful energy all around you. And when I see this card, I think of the beauty and the softness that you exude, and know that that is your superpower. And you are so deeply, deeply loved. I wanted to write a message for myself, and I just want to be here. I want to give myself permission to be here and take time to be here every day. And it looks like she has the sun on her face. I mean, the light is behind. She's illuminated. And I do my best. I am outside, and often it's in the pouring rain. But to create the space for myself and the gift of this feeling every day, I think is really something. And there are others in my life that I exchange gifts with, and I think this is a really lovely idea. So I'm going to repurpose this deck and use it for that. I want to go to some of your comments before I sign off. Where does Angela's comment go? Do you know, I recorded about, it was over 4 hours of video for my mass market decks, and I am still editing. I'm hoping to get it down to about an hour and a half. It's quite a process. Let's go to Jen's comment here. I think there's some beauty in this, and I can see that this would be, a really peaceful and wonderful thing to do for myself as well, to sit down and to write these heartfelt messages. Yeah. So thank you for being here today, and I will see you for Advent Calendar, Day 15. Take good care. Namaste.